I think the promoter, if he's going to take a bit of backseat and bring in a professional, he has to give space to the CEO.
It's very important that one should directly communicate with the CEO rather than taking help of your advisor's network to communicate with him or her.
This is the problem with most promoters, most founders, because they think they know it all. They want to go on interfering, and that's not the way to operate.
If people are not doing a good job, then change the people. I mean, you will need to be very hard-nosed about it. Don't micromanage. I have a lot of clarity. I think one of the reasons people micromanage is they are not clear what they want. So if you're clear of what output you want, what deliverables you want, and it can change from time to time. Sometimes you want to grow the top line, sometimes you want to grow the bottom lines. Whatever it is, be clear, communicate clearly so that there is a clarity around that. Obviously create incentive system and other enabling conditions, and then get the hell out of the way. But get the hell out of the way doesn't mean abdicate. You still get a lot of data. You still have to get a lot of information. And if people are not doing a good job, then change the people. I mean, you will need to be very hard-nosed about it also. But don't compensate by people not working out by micromanaging.
I stepped down from my role as managing director in the year 2014. And at that time, the board of directors told me that you should be clear what you will do and what you will not do, and what will he do. And there has to be a very strong sense of alignment between the managing director and the promoter. The temptation is that the promoter will go on interfering on a day-to-day basis. And this is the problem with most promoters, most founders, because they think they know it all. They want to go on interfering, and that's not the way to operate. If you are promoting somebody, and in this case somebody who had worked with me for 10 years prior, you know that person extremely well, that person's leadership style. Then you need to be just aligned in terms of what you will do and what that person will do. Basically what I'm saying is you need to keep your hands off, but the mind is always on, because that mind will work through a series of meetings which are planned in advance on a monthly basis, not only with the managing director but with the team. And then the role of the promoter is to actually trust that person, give that person freedom, but at the same time be involved through a series of structured meetings rather than on a day-to-day basis.
I think the most important is to keep asking this question, why have you hired that professional? So there must have been some reason, because you actually want certain values to come from outside. Promoters must give that space and delegation and let go few things, because that's a constant struggle that is always there. The professional struggles to find space. The second most important thing is that each promoter, in my view, is also surrounded by clutch of advisors. It's very important that one should directly communicate with the CEO rather than taking help of your advisor's network to communicate with him or her. And the third most important thing is there must be something bothering CEO. It is important to have informal setup meetings with him or her, so that that person opens up, and if there are any challenges that person is facing, you are able to resolve that.
I think the promoter, if he's going to take a bit of backseat and bring in a professional, he has to give space to the CEO. And anyway, when we find a CEO, it is done alongside the promoter agreeing with it. Otherwise, the CEO is destined to fail. The second thing is that he's got to take on the role from operations to a bit more of advisory capacity. Third, we found a successful example where he takes on the role of just mentoring the CEO and a couple of other key executives. Fourth is the promoter can get busy with handling public affairs, corporate relations, government. The worst is when the promoter says, look, I told you this would not happen, and this is exactly what is wrong. Then it's a bit of a backlash. But I think it's a very tricky relationship.